Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Making 3. And I'm back with another movie for you guys to enjoy. What if Naruto was this Sentry? From the Marvel Universe, the movie guys. Remember, if you have your series ideas or your movie ideas, just go ahead and comment down below and I'll jot them down for future use. And if you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 more channels which I post what if on every single day. Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime Symbol, Anime Prince guys. All of the links will be down in the description, so go ahead, check them out and become a part of the Anime King family. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this brand new episode, movie guys. Let us begin now guys. The children of Konoha were special. Yes, they were special. Everyone knew that the village was quality over quantity. There was no doubt when it came to that. Orochimaru was a twisted man who has done a lot of twisted things. However, his goal required youth. Yes, his goal required youth. And after the Nine-Tail ravaged through the village, he needed time. Yes, he needed time. As the months went by, children were sent to the orphanage, losing their everything. Mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers. The orphanage was filled. Orochimaru thought it was best to slip in, to take what he needed to take, and to slip out without anyone noticing. After all, he was meticulous when he needed to be, patient when he needed to be. He's already branding himself as one of the worstest missing nins, a monster amongst monsters who did horrible things, doesn't matter what your age was. From as young as a few months, going up to 6 years old, it was the vitality, the youth that Orochimaru needed, because the procedure would not work on anyone above age 10. And he needed the youth and vitality to see if this would work, because it would add into something bigger, something that always fit into his goal, the purity, the immortality, to live forever. There was a problem though. While Orochimaru had his ninjas who he gave specific information about the village, people that could slip in and out because they had the security clearance, because he had those that also work within the orphanage. One young boy was taken away. There was a problem though. This young boy had been hidden by Hiruzen and Sarutobi, not wanting a baby to face the backlash of the world just yet. Hiruzen and Sarutobi kept the information about the Nine-Tail prisoner. Yes, he was basically the cage and the key. He kept the information so secretive that the caretaker had no idea, and Orochimaru did not suspect it in the slightest. Besides, he was not the one personally attending to every single children. He had monsters working for him as well. Not physical monsters, but people that would do anything. Payment, threats, whatever it takes. Orochimaru would get his results. An unknown land where the children were all strapped to a table. This was the worst of mankind, the true wickedness. There was a lot of people down there. Orochimaru needed results. One by one, they were injected with a special serum to see if it would do what he wanted, to elevate their youthful form to higher levels, allowing Orochimaru to see great breakthrough that would future be implemented into himself. He had left instructions for them, and when he returned, he was angry, not by the loss of over 30 life. He was angry that it all failed, that none of the results that gave out was what he truly wanted to happen. Orochimaru gave the orders for his subordinates to handle the, disposal of the bodies. He did not look back because he was disturbed. He didn't look back because he simply did not care. He had stripped himself of the willingness to feel the pain of empathy and physical and mental emotion for things that doesn't bring light to his actions. His actions being his one true goal, immortality. Other than that, he does not give a shit about anything else. Not anyone else in this world. Everyone was a stepping stool. Everyone was a ladder for him to reach the true spot that he truly desired. However, the powerful Death Reaper seal that was placed on Naruto Uzumaki at birth to hold the Nine Tails back was extraordinary, preventing any of the adults from learning that this boy had the Nine Tails. There was no chakra amplification running through the child to show the seal even with his shirt off. Thus, no one knew that the child contained the Nine Tails. The problem was the serum flatlined the boy. Yes, it flatlined him. The experimental compound, a serum that Orochimaru created that he called the S-serum, it melted with the seal. Upon the moment before death, the power of the Nine Tails raging to be free, the power of the Nine Tails raging to survive, caused a catastrophic change that no one would ever even imagine. And the infant, also taken with the others to be disposed of, his inside started to glow. A bright light enveloped inside of him. It brought life. There was only two of them. The sound ninjas heard the crying, and they came to a stop. The first one blinked and told himself that he was just imagining things. However, when the second one heard it, there was massive seal containers with the disposal bodies. It was open up. Something that you really did not want to see, but there was something there. The both of them believing that, with one of the experiments surviving, Orochimaru would be grateful to them for them to bring him back. And they found him, a blonde, blue-eyed child, almost like he was shimmering with gold. They were in a wasteland, nowhere special, nowhere that anyone would come looking. Special place for them to set everything ablaze. Unfortunately though, fate seemed to be a very tricky thing. The two sound ninjas were attacked, a group of bandits, stronger than your average bandits. They moved in quickly. Their goal was to take all of their valuable. Knowing that they were ninjas, they did not give them the time to properly assess the situation. The bandits descended upon them. When it was over, the bandits looked through the aftermath. And the leader of them all, he was a tall man, 6'4", long silver hair, a feature that gave him his name. His name was Silver. A small beard, a slash on his cheek, looking rugged and dangerous. He was the leader of them after all. He knelt down and picked up the infant in his hands. And he saw it. His eyes flashed gold for a second. Something remarkable about this child. Silver knew that there were some moments in this world where you were given an opportunity to do something extraordinary. And he believed that taking this child in was going to lead to something fundamentally great. Thus, he brought said child with them. It wasn't normal that a group like this would take in a child, but he did so anyway. And with that, they proceeded to leave. Once they were gone, what none of them noticed was a strange twisted darkness that had rose from that container where that boy was in. Whatever this was, it was definitely not human. It lacked any discernible features. It was a complete black slate. when it rose showing a human form, almost like a child itself, yet it was bathed in darkness. Whatever this was, it was wrong. Its eyes also flash, but it was a deep crimson mixed with a bit of a gold. It smiled and crawled away, almost like a child learning how to walk. It crawled away, dabbling within the darkness, dabbling within the corpses that was left behind to be destroyed. Time passed by. The young boy that was taken by Silver and his group was named Naruto, due to the fact that he seemed to be obsessed with the toppings from ramen, something he took to rather well when he was 3 years old. Perhaps it was just a miracle or a coincidence, his name being something that was actually supposed to be his name. Back in his home, that is. He was someone that loved ramen though. He was obsessed with it. Silver and the group had wanted to call him Blondie. However, Silver found it rather funny, the way he was obsessed with the toppings, the swirl, so he decided to name him after it, Naruto. Blondie Naruto he called him sometimes, as Silver tend to go off of things that, well, fit someone's character. His name was fitting by his hair, and Naruto had blonde hair, that is why he wanted to call him Blondie. But his love of the topping made Silver call him, well, Naruto. It was his dry sense of humor in a way. When he was 8 years old, Silver had told him about where he had came from. They were sitting by a ravine, and Naruto had simply said, "Oh, can I have more soup?" He did not seem to really care about that. He simply did not think of any life other than the one that he had, and Silver cared about him deeply. This was his family. Naruto knew each and every one of them by name. They were his family, and he was a part of their family as well. Silver and his people weren't kind men either. Yes, they steal, they fought, they do whatever in this world to survive. But they had a code though. They did not go after those that could not defend themselves. In this world, Silver saw ninjas as the problem with this world. After all, he used to be one as well. He had no problem going after ninjas. His level of skill allowed him to handle your low-level marks, along with him personally training his group. Despite only being bandits to most people, they were rather formidable, dangerous and powerful. They took territories, they take names, and they carry themselves higher than most. And it was within this group that Naruto grew. His powers started to come in, little by little, as Silver had always known it. Silver knew that he was not normal from day one. It was a good thing they came in small though. Him accidentally shattering stone. It was a good thing that he wasn't trying to spar with someone and turning them into paste. He was fast before he knew what fast meant. He hit things harder than he needed to. He healed from injuries that should have left a mark but did not. And by the time he was 10, he could leave the ground, confirming that he was not normal in the slightest. He could take to the heavens and fly without restraint, without anything holding him back. It was an accident with him jumping from a ledge, as a fall would not hurt him, but they were shocked when they saw him suspended in mid-air for 5 seconds. All of them looking at him with an absolute shock look on their face. As the time passed by, normal things could not hurt him. It was almost like he was indestructible. He was fast, he could fly. He was not normal, not in any sense of the word, as Silver never asked him to explain himself. Knowing that Naruto could not, he welcomed him with open arms, and so did the others. This was his family, and no one will take his family away from him. However, on the other side of the world, something dark was lurking. It had no name, yet it was shaped like a boy, but it had no discernible features. Its body was bathed in a darkness that was so dark that it did not even reflect light, almost like a void, an empty, soulless void. And whenever it goes somewhere, it left behind followers. It seemed to be learning just like everything else. When it first plunged its hand into someone's chest, and their body was overtaken by that darkness as well, spreading through them, granting them skills and strength that normal people did not possess. For now, this was away from any of the great nations. The world was unaware that something corrupted, something almost demonic was festering out there. And it wanted dominance. It wanted control. It wanted to place its hand over every inch of the world and feel it stop struggling. And it was not even in any hurry, because it knew that nothing could stop it, and it would get there eventually. No one had gave it a name. It had named itself the Void, as it marched across the planet, gathering followers, consuming and growing stronger by the day. Its polar opposite on the other side, darkness and light. This world was in for a big surprise. Time skip. Space was quiet, and it was there that Naruto was. He was 14 years old, as he was hovering in the vast emptiness of space. The world was nothing but a marble to him by this point. There was always a thing that struck him. It looked small from here. It was beautiful, but looking at it from this point, it made him wonder most time what was the world beyond it. He had found out a couple years back. It was an accident. Him just trying to test his speed of flight when he flew through the planet atmosphere. At first, he expected to not be able to breathe. He had learned about space, learned about the vastness of the world outside. There were books that speak about these things. And Silver had warned him never to go too high because he needed to breathe. However, turns out that was not a problem for him. Over the next couple of years, he spent the time trying to understand. His first trip was to the moon. He found people there though. When they saw him, they looked nervous, wrapped in gray and white robes. They had clear eyes. Most of them had white hair. They seemed rather nervous when they saw him. Their number was small. They said something about Asuski, perhaps a clan name. It was rather shocking to see that there was an entire civilization on the moon. Well, they were exponentially small, but still, it was surprising. But they did not seem to want him there at all. Either they were afraid of him or they just did not like him. He decided to explore more. He wasn't afraid. Nothing really scares him because things were no longer proven to be a threat to him. He went to other planets, but most of them were empty. Some of them the gravity was different, but he never stayed far away from his home world. Finding himself needing some ramen, he returned. Flying back down, he made his way towards the camp. However, he picked up the smell before he arrived. Naruto became completely still. Usually you would hear Silver arguing with the other man about something that was pointless, but as Naruto stood there, he just stood there for a long moment. Silver was there. All of the crew was there. And scattered amongst them was stone shinobi uniforms. Dead stone shinobis. Silver was a missing nin from the hidden stone. Yes, that was his origin. It was a long time ago he had told Naruto about his village. Another reason why he hated ninjas, believing them to be prophet of destruction and chaos, tools of destruction. He never boasts about being an angel or a savior, but it's about time that ninjas say what they truly are, weapons to kill. That is how he saw it. Naruto collapsed down to his knees when he heard something. More stone shinobis arriving, one of them speaking about disposing of the bodies. Naruto turned. "Leave," he said. His voice became cold and dangerous. Yet they draw their weapons. He didn't give them the chance to do anything much about that. Naruto moved, his rage overtaking him. The stone shinobi leaped away though, his partner going through hand sign and shooting the earth towards him. However, the massive chunk of earth simply exploded on Naruto's face, and it brought out more rage. What followed was not a battle. A battle is the definition of two people fighting for at least a minute, maybe a few seconds, but what followed was something ruthless. Naruto had killed before, but he realized that he never had to because he was always the strongest. Yet, when his hand reached through the shinobi's chest, when he expanded his hands outwards, tearing him apart, Naruto felt absolutely nothing. His rage overtook him as he flew straight towards the hidden stone without hesitation. The village, governed by the third Tishikage Oniki, was calm and peaceful today. Oniki sat in his office. Today seemed to be a normal day. He didn't expect anything out of the boom. Something hit his village so violently that it sent tremors through everything. Wasting no time, Oniki flew through the window. Being one of the few shinobis, maybe the only one other than, well, Naruto could not be classified as a shinobi. He was one of the few that could fly though. Oniki saw him floating above. The destruction that he seemed to cause. He was a boy though. Blonde hair, blue eyes. This is for silver. Naruto came down and struck the earth once more. But this time though, his entire body was enveloped with a golden energy. The shockwave was blasted through. The ground erupted, buildings exploded. Naruto wasn't trying to kill everyone, but he was so consumed with rage that when he looked towards the destruction, seeing the people crying and hollering, he stood there for a moment. This is why he did not kill people, because he learned that he could simply subdue them without doing so. As he looked at the destruction though, he didn't feel good about it. He took off to the sky, feeling more emptier than ever before. Across the distance, the void felt it. It could feel it in their connection. The void knew that something was out there. On that day when Naruto was reborn, the void was given life. It too knew of its counterpart. Naruto had felt it, something deep in his chest, but he never had to go searching because he already had his family. But the void was never supposed to operate like this. The void was given life from something very twisted. The serum that Orochimaru injected Naruto with. There was more components that made Naruto the only survivor and give birth to something extraordinary. And Orochimaru had no idea that Naruto even existed. As Naruto took off to the heavens, running away from the destruction that he caused, running away from everything. 3 years went by. As we begin within the office, where Tsunade Senju sat. She was now Hokage, despite telling herself that she would have never returned back to this village. However, things changed. Jiraiya had came to her, guilt and stubbornness, using her own emotions against her. The third Hokage had died, protecting the village. That alone should have sent her running for the hills, but here she was. How things took a turn. 3 years, and the hidden stone was still searching. She was well aware. 3 years ago, there was an attack on their village. An attack that they could not truly understand, done by one person and destroyed a large portion of their village. Tsunade had seen the reports. Blonde hair, blue eyes, whisker marks on each cheek, 3 of them. flying young 13 years old. Snazzy. She was shocked when she found this. Jiraiya had came to her. Maybe it was seeing how broken he was. Why she had decided to come back. Because he thought that he failed as well. Over 16 years ago, Naruto Uzumaki was kidnapped from this village. No one knowing who did it or who was behind it. Harrison left behind a lot of reports, but there was only a handful of people that even knew about Naruto's existence. Most believing that the fourth Hokage had killed the Nine Tails. The civilians, that is. Jiraiya had searched when he first learned about this. But after searching for so long, he had given up. It wasn't until 3 years ago when the description came in. And it seemed to match up perfectly. So he went on the search once again, but he was slowly starting to lose hope because he could not find the person that was responsible. Meanwhile, in the land of sound, Sasuke Uchiha had taken the initiative to flee Konoha some time ago, believing that the village was doing nothing but holding him back. Sasuke needed power, actual power, to get revenge on his brother that took everything away from him. So he abandoned everything. Sakura, Sai, all of them, for power. And now he was with Orochimaru to gain said power. Back at Konoha, Team 7 was a prominent team. It consists of Sasuke, Sakura, and a young boy named Sai. Kakashi methods were, while most see them as lazy, it was actually working. The three of them melted well with each other. Sai was a special person. Not exactly a spy. He was trained, he was conditioned to be a ninja in the light. He was conditioned to be Danzo Eyes. While he was a spy, his part of the team was permanent. Danzo wanted to know everything, from the ins and out of the light of the village. Information that would slip by him because he wasn't in certain circles. That is how Danzo knew about Naruto Uzumaki, because Kakashi knew about him as well. Thus Danzo knew about him because of Sai. Sai was really good at sneaking around. But over time, being a part of Team 7 had really seemed to change him for the better, despite the reports that he was still giving in. Yes, it seemed to have changed him for the better. However, our main focus now lies with Naruto Uzumaki, only knowing his name as Naruto, a name that he would never forsake or change, because of the one that gave it to him. Naruto was 16 and he looked so tired, almost like nothing around him truly mattered. He's done a lot in the past 3 years. He had healed a man that could not walk. He has gotten rid of a plague that has been swarming a village for some time now. They lack the necessary resources and funds to reach out, but Naruto had helped them. He learned more about himself in the past 3 years. Molecular reconstruction. He had watched a shattered clay pot before learning how to change it. He learned that he could heal, shapeshift, all sorts of things. He found himself truly shocked to what he can actually do. However, there was a problem. He was getting weaker. Yes, he was getting weaker and weaker and weaker. He could feel the power, but he simply felt weaker than ever before. And he didn't understand why. He needed help, he needed someone to talk to. He found it odd to go to a therapist. But he found someone that dealt with matters of the mind because his body felt strong but he just couldn't use his power. The man believed that his power was tied to his emotional state. But Naruto told himself that he was fine, and yet his power still did not resurface as it should. He was far weaker than he should be. He had been clammy about the situation. The therapist believed that he still blamed himself for what happened to Silver and his group, And of course he blamed himself. If he was there, that wouldn't have happened. Yet, he's done so much good. And he tried to tell himself that he was better now, but he was still slower in every degree. Less durable, less strong. So he went back to the place that Silver had found him. He never really took focus of the place back then, but now he did. Unfortunately though, there was nothing to find. That is when something came to mind. The ninjas that had, tried to dispose of his body. They were sound ninjas. Around 3 years back, he remembered there was an attack on Konoha. He still kept in touch with the world. Konoha was one of the greatest villages. He'd never been there before. Perhaps they knew who led the sound ninjas. He heard some names, he heard the San was involved, but he did not know the full detail. While he did know about a bit that was going on, he did not know everything. So he decided to visit Konoha. This was actually his first time being to one of the great villages. And he had to say, the village was massive. He decided not to fly over but make his way as a normal person that wished to speak to their leader. Upon arriving at the gate, he was stopped by the guards. I need to speak to your Hokage. Kitetsu on the right, Izumo on the left. They gazed towards him. They questioned him about his appointment. When he told them he didn't have one, they told him no. That is not how things work. Unfortunately for them though, this wasn't it wasn't a question. Naruto tried to step forward but Kitetsu tried to block him. Naruto did not mean to hit him so hard as Kitetsu fly through the wooden posts. Naruto looked at his hand. Not only was his powers weaker, he was starting to lose control. Something that he spent years to gain control of. Every now and again his power fluctuated out of hand. Luckily though, the man wasn't dead. When the Anvus arrived, Naruto gave himself up almost immediately. He was brought into a special room with chakra seals. They were also placed on him as well. He allowed this to happen, believing that the Hokage would be the one to face him after all. He did arrive seeking an audience with her. As he sat there, he thought about his family. The family that he once had. He was thinking about what it means to have a home. Whether the concepts still applied to him. Whether the words still had the same shape when Silver and the others had been alive to give it meaning. In the past 3 years, he's been moving from one place to another, as that hollow feeling in his chest, it never went away. The door opened and a beautiful blonde entered. Tall and powerful. By her very presence, she seemed to be a leader. As he stopped thinking and gazed up towards her. However, the look that she gave him. Why are you looking at me like that? Like you know me. She was quiet for a moment. Naruto? He blinked. He's never met this woman before. How do you know my name? She couldn't believe it. All these years. Are you Naruto Uzumaki? Uzumaki? What's that? Her expression shifted. Where are you from? I don't know, he said. For the longest that I could remember, I was raised by a group that kept me safe and protected. They were my family and now they're gone. That is why I'm here. I want to know where I'm from. She was confused by that. The man that was like my father. The only thing that I understand to be a father in this world. He's gone now. He told me a long time ago that some ninjas were going to dispose of me before he found me. That is why I'm here. Your village recently fought the sound ninjas. I want to know who is the leader behind them and where they are. Sound ninjas. It clicked in Snady's mind. Orochimaru. Her fist clenched. No one knew who was behind the kidnapping, but all along it was him. Orochimaru. Naruto heard that name before. He's one of the Sanins. He kidnapped you. What are you talking about? Said Naruto. The news shocked Naruto. This is your home. You were born here. You were taken as an infant. Orochimaru kidnapped you and several other children to experiment on, from what I can see now, she said. The room felt different. The walls are nothing moved, but it just felt different. He's been searching, and to hear this, this is my home? Yes. Naruto was unconvinced, shocked that all this time, to believe that he was from a place like this. Tsunade looked towards him, seeing that he did not believe her. I need your blood, she said. A sample was taken when he was a baby. Hiruzen had kept it preserved and protected, in case they found Naruto later on, so they could test it. Wait, Naruto said, stopping her from getting a needle. Needles won't work on me. She raised the eyebrow to that. Naruto ran one finger against his palm as a line of blood appeared. Effortlessly, easy. He could manipulate his own molecules, telling his body whether or not to bleed at certain spots. She took said blood sample, as it took some time for the reports to return. As Naruto sat there, wondering if her words were truthful, when she came back with the result, Naruto was speechless. She sat with him, telling him things that he never knew. His father, his mother. He couldn't believe it. He didn't cry. He's never truly cried. It was odd. He got emotional, he got angry, but he doesn't really cry. All this time, this place. Why? Why him? Why did he survive if the other children did not make it? As far as he knew, there was no other like him in the world. Let me ask you something, she said. A couple years back, the Hidden Stone village. She could see it in his eyes, the guilt. I had just lost Silver and everyone I known from I was a child by a group of stone ninjas. I attacked the Hidden Stone because I was angry. I never truly wanted to cause so much unnecessary deaths. The Hidden Stone is still searching for you. Your features are rather well known. I cannot have you just walking around the village. It might start an international incident that will lead to a war. If they know that, well, they won't. Naruto said as he brought his hand up to his face. His eyes slanted. The color changed from blue to gold. His hair became white. His whisker marks vanished away. Tsunade had been a medical ninja for most of her life, and she could tell the difference between natural transformation jutsu and something that went to a molecular structure, and what she just saw left her absolutely shocked. As she come to know Naruto, he was a very deeply emotional person. The way he expressed it. But she come to learn that he was in such agony, despite not even looking like he was in. Days later, Jiraiya arrived, after she sent word to him. They met for the first time. Jiraiya looked at him like he was a stranger until Naruto dropped his features back to normal. You look just like him. Yes, I've been told that. Tsunade had said it as well. He looked like Minato Namikaze. Naruto features turned back, so no one recognized him. Jiraiya was at a loss for words. He's been searching. We can catch up later. Tell me about Orochimaru. In the past couple of days, Naruto had not dropped it. He wanted to see the man. He wanted to talk to the man. Jiraiya had information, but the places that he talked about they were small, insignificant. Orochimaru tend to move a lot. That's enough, said Naruto. What do you mean by that? You might be able only to search one place at a time. I, on the other hand, can do a lot more. Wait, said Sentry. You said it yourself, you're not at full strength. Orochimaru is not your run-of-the-mill criminal or ninja. Going up against him without any understanding of what you're fighting is suicide. I cannot allow it. Naruto looked at her. If you are right, and this place is my home, I will come back, he said. He knew that it was. There was no denying what he has learned over the past couple of days. But he couldn't allow that to stop him. He needed to face Orochimaru. While I'm not as strong as I should be, it's strong enough, said Naruto as he flew straight upwards. Jiraiya and Sentry looked up towards the gaping hole. Perhaps they could not physically stop him. Days later, following what Jiraiya had said, Naruto found sound base after sound base, until he located a girl known as Gurren. You see, she was much more in-depth and much more smarter than most, so she was trusted. All he wanted was more bases location. She refused at first due to her loyalty, but Naruto wasn't gentle about getting that information that he needed. He wasn't gentle in the slightest. Arriving to the 15 base after still searching, Naruto teared through the wall like it was made of paper. However, he was found by one Sasuke Uchiha. Naruto looked at the 16-year-old. He didn't know who this was. Sasuke immediately assessed him to be an enemy. Get out of my way, said Naruto. Sasuke drew for his blade and attacked. The blade slammed against Naruto's skin and caused no damage. But that was a problem. Usually it would have shattered by the force that Sasuke swung with. But it pressed against Naruto's skin. While it did not tear or slice through, a mark was there. No damage to cause him pain, but there was a mark. Naruto started to falter, really realizing that he was much weaker than he thought. Naruto backhanded Sasuke like it was nothing though, sending the Uchiha sailing away, crashing into the wall. Despite not being at his full power, Sasuke stood absolutely no chance against him. None at all. Naruto told himself that he was fine, that he had recovered from Silver's death, to not being there, to believe himself to be weak because he couldn't have saved them. And yet, why was he still so weak? Orochimaru was actually here. Here in the chaos he arrived. He wasn't alone. Naruto saw him for the first time. And who are you? Orochimaru said. Naruto looked at him. You ran experiments on children, around 30 of them. 16 years ago. I was one of them. Orochimaru went still. He remembered that, but all of them died. You died. I'm not sure what happened there, but I was one of those children. Orochimaru was truly shocked. You survived. Yes. You took me from Konoha. I'm not any normal child. My father was Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage of Konoha. The look on Orochimaru's face as he staggered with that news. What? Kabuto himself looking absolutely shocked. Why? Naruto said. He needed to know. Why did Orochimaru do it? Why did he take his life away from him? If he hadn't done it, maybe he would have never met Silver. maybe he wouldn't have been feeling this way like he's a failure for the past 3 years. Orochimaru, though, looked disinterested in even anything regarding that subject. Thus Naruto flew towards him, shocking the Sannin. "Why?" Naruto said. "Tell me why," as he started to grow angry. He wasn't at full power, but power. It brought and grew from anger. Naruto struck Orochimaru, stunning the Sannin by the force. He needed to know, why did you take my life away? Why did you kidnap me? What kind of man used children like they're props? Like they're nothing but tools? He already knew the answer. But the part of him that felt like a failure, the part of him that felt like he failed the only man that he could call a father, that part needed to hear it out loud. Orochimaru tried to retaliate. He tried to fight Naruto, but even while not at his full strength, Orochimaru did not possess the capability to do so. The Sannin felt his face being pummeled into the ground. He tried to shed his skin, but Naruto stopped it, manipulating his molecules, shocking Orochimaru as he was forced back and permanently sealed inside, stuck between a state of rejection and acceptance. Naruto struck him once again and the ground exploded. To spare himself the agony, Orochimaru speak. "Because you were a part of my ambition, my growth to become something great. And look at you now. I've turned you into something extraordinary. I'm just ashamed that I hadn't found out about you until now." The Sannin said, realizing that line was useless and it would only require Naruto to strike him even harder. Naruto was broken even more as he realized there was nothing here. Nothing that would give him the understanding that he needs. Nothing that would justify anything. It was all pointless. Nothing that would make sense of himself being a failure. This man just took him because he wanted to. He's seen that a lot in the world. He wasn't anything special. He was just different from the others and survived. But he wasn't taken for a reason, for a purpose. And Naruto was done with it. His hands started to glow. Power started to glow. Brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. Orochimaru tried to get up. He tried to flee, but it was pointless. It was like Naruto became a miniature sun. And when he dropped his hands, a bright yellow beam exploded outwards, throwing Sasuke and everything out of the vicinity. The entire place came crashing down with a violent blast that swallowed Naruto and Orochimaru. But unlike Naruto, who remained alive, Orochimaru was destroyed in ways that no healing could put him back together. When the smoke and dust cleared, Naruto lay there, the rubble and everything on top of him. He felt more broken than ever before, and he couldn't dig himself out. Days went by and Naruto lay there. Hunger or those things did not bother him. Yet he simply lay there under the rubble. It took that long for Jiraiya to finally find him, finding the locations that Naruto had visited and using it to track Naruto's location. When he arrived to the main base, he thought that Naruto was already gone, but he digged. When he saw something there. Someone was under the rubble. He found him and checked his pulse. He was alive but unconscious. Jiraiya brought Naruto back to Konoha. Time skip. Danzo Shiramura did not scare easily. He had survived things that broke better men. War, betrayal, the slow grind of political survival. He had built root into what it is today. Konoha greatest service in the dark. Those that did what the village needed without actually being seen. Danzo was aware of the whole Naruto situation, but he had no idea that he was in Konoha because of Tsunade, quickly covering up the incident at the gate. You see, Danzo had his people searching. What Danzo never expected was for them to come across some shadow warriors. 5 of them went. Only one returned with some horrific information. Danzo found this rather, well, unnerving. So he sent a group with 2 of his best. And none of them returned. None of them returned. From the first report, that the one came back alive and told him there was something marching across the land. He called himself the Void, and he had an army. They were not on any of the major villages' radar, but they had an army, thousands of thousands strong, and they were growing. Danzo usually rely on his own good, on his own, well, control, believing that he was the only one that can fix Konoha. But in this scenario, he realized that if something was not done, there wouldn't be a Konoha to fix. Tsunade Senju was not surprised to see him, already knowing that this was going to be some kind of problem. However, Danzo came to her for the first time not to argue, not to go against her, but to talk to her. There is something happening that it seems that none of us have been aware of. She could see it. Something was definitely wrong. She gestured for him to sit, but he would rather stand. Tell me, what is it? She said. Time skip. Naruto was securely protected after Jiraiya brought him back. Not in a cell. It was a special place. Tsunade examined him while he was there. Naruto had lost all of his powers. He wasn't as fast, he wasn't as strong. He was no more than a normal civilian right now. It was almost like he was watching himself from the inside, with the detachment of someone that know that they could be a godlike being, but they were a shell of themselves. After vaporizing Orochimaru, learning that his entire ideology, everything about him was just an accident, caused by what they did not know. Yes, he knew that he was formerly the 9-tailed Jinchuriki, maybe that had something to do with it. Silver was still dead. 30 children died and he survived. He never got to meet his original parents. His life was never good. He was a failure. That kept on popping into his mind over and over and over and over again. He was a failure and there was nothing that he could do about it. The problem was, while Naruto was emotionally broken, it was the first time that the Void actually felt him in a way that he's never felt him before. Both Naruto and the Void knew that they were out there. Both of them knew that they were missing something, but they could never actually tell what it is. But for the first time, the Void felt it. His other half. It was all about consumption. Who was able to consume who first? In order to take fully control of Naruto, the Void needed Naruto broken. And Naruto was more emotionally weaker than he's ever been. And for the first time, the Void did not move like a slow walking march. It moved across villages in instants. The Void was heading straight to Konoha. The closer it got, the more Naruto felt it. In the depths of his heart, something was coming. It wasn't until Jiraiya arrived down there, looking bloody. The location was a bit isolated and cut off because Naruto did not hear it. Naruto got to his feet. What is it? He said, what's wrong? Something is here. Something is looking for you. You need to get out of here. You need to come with me. Whatever this is, it desperately wants you. And at the state you're in right now, you can't fight it. No, said Naruto. Are you crazy? Said Jiraiya. You have no. I said no. He wasn't going to run away. He was no coward, he told himself. He was no boom. Jiraiya was launched. He slammed against the wall as something ripped into his shoulder. A piece of the broken wall, stabbing through his shoulder, caused him agonizing pain. As Naruto collapsed down to the ground, looking at his hands that were actually bleeding from the debris, he slowly picked himself up, and the void stepped forward. They looked at each other and immediately knew what each other was, despite this being the first time that they actually saw each other. They understood each other on a level that most couldn't even comprehend. The void seemed to be the same height as him. It seemed to be the polar opposite, yet it was the same as well. Its features, non-existent. It slowly stepped towards him. Naruto could feel its creation when his power came too. He could feel it. There you are. I've been looking for you. I know, said Naruto. You're weak, the void said. It wasn't cruelty, it was just stating a fact. Naruto could hear the people of Konoha screaming as they fought the void soldiers. Those that it had infected, covered with its darkness, controlling them like puppets. To be whole, the void said, stepping forward. I need to consume you. And you are in no position to stop me. It hit Naruto. For the first time, Naruto felt pain like this as he slammed viciously into the wall. The void beat him with his fists, just to show him, just to humiliate him. Jiraiya tried to intervene. However, tentacles came from its back and sent Jiraiya sailing away like he was a mere child being scolded. The void held Naruto by the front of his shirt. Look at you. This is what you are without me. You are too weak to see how powerful you are. Bleeding everywhere. Half of your true self. Truly pathetic, it said. Naruto tried to fight. However, it started to consume him. It started to take over. You are right. Silver died because you could not protect him. You told yourself that you had the strength. You had the power to protect the ones that you love. And you did love them, did you not? And yet, you could not save them. You could not protect them. And you weren't there when they died. It's your fault. You're pathetic. Hopeless. The void knew everything that was going through his mind. And it was using that to break Naruto. By the time Tsunade Senju arrived, Naruto was almost consumed. Stop! She shouted. Realizing and now understanding that if this thing took a hold of Naruto, there would be no stopping it. Her people were already fighting an insane battle outside. Stop blaming yourself, she said. The tentacles lashed out trying to get her, but she jumped away. Silver. She called out the name. You told me about him. A man with a code. A man that understands the danger of the life that he lived. He lived with his rules and he lived with his choices. Do you really think that he wasn't prepared for something like this to happen? The consumption came to a pause, just briefly. Almost like Naruto resisted. This is your home. She wasn't saying it as a leader. She was saying it as someone that cared about him, that learned and understand him. You belong here, she said. Silver would have been glad to know it. He would have been glad to know that you have people. And he would be upset if you let your own grief and sadness stop you from becoming who you truly were meant to be. You are Naruto Uzumaki, and you are greater than this. Open your eyes. Open your eyes, she said, as Naruto and the void fused together. And it seems like all hope was lost. Until Naruto opened his eyes. And there Silver stood. "I'm disappointed," he said. "What? How are you?" "Never mind about that." "You're disappointed?" Naruto said. "A little." "I'm not strong enough." Silver chuckled. "I know you don't believe that. From day one I knew that you were special. When you were around 5 years old, you outran everyone that was there. And you were a child, throwing boulders like it was nothing. Strength was never your problem. You're a very emotional person, Naruto," he said. "And that doesn't make you weak. That makes you strong if you know how to use it. I know you were different from day one when I brought you in. I know how you tend to make things weigh on your mind, especially when they don't need to be. Listen to me," he said, placing a hand on Naruto's shoulder. "You're stronger than this. You're the one in control here. You have the power. You can use it whether you want to or not. But know this. You are the strongest thing I've ever seen. And I am proud to call you my son," he said. "All you need to do is to believe in yourself and stop blaming yourself and open your eyes and win this for your new family." Naruto's eyes snapped open. He ripped the void off of him. "Enough," Naruto said as he tore it off. The void immediately brought himself back together, anger flaring in his eyes. Naruto brought his hand up. What seemed to be a sun generated in his palm. The energy though started to grow and grow until Naruto released it as it spread. The void screamed. All of the people screamed. Every single soldier that the void had corrupted, every single civilian, every ninja. Their bodies immediately went back to normal as the darkness, the shadow, vanished. The void, on the other hand, remained. It was the original, vastly superior and stronger. Naruto flew at him and struck him, pushing him out the village walls. Get him away from the people, as down below, the citizens of Konoha were confused when multiple corpses, well, they thought they were dead but they weren't, they were simply unconscious, being used as a shell. Multiple of them lie on the ground now, no longer completely devoid of light. Meanwhile, Naruto flew the void straight out of Konoha. The void recovered though. Of course it did. It was his shadow or him, or his dark half. It seemed to be just as powerful, and it was upset, furious that it did not get what it wanted. It started to call out to everything around it. As Naruto looked up when he saw the heavens change, the clouds darkened, the sky became dark, casting a shadow all over the place. It could manipulate the weather freely, controlling it like a living weapon as lightning struck. The lightning struck Naruto at full force and he took it. The void. He seemed to not recall, or perhaps he was just too upset to notice that all attack was fuel, all attack was energy. Naruto absorbed it, yes, breaking it down and absorbing it. No longer feeling pain, no longer suffering emotionally or physically. The tentacles came next, blending and moving like shadows, 6 of them moving in. They tried to grab him as Naruto flew. The void chased after him. Replicating what he is, it moved with ungodly speed. As they tear across the land, it grabbed him. It tried to pull him in. It tried to lock him in. It tried to take him in by force. But Naruto ripped them off and knocked him straight into the sky. The punch sent shockwave through everything. Naruto flew above. His hands started to glow. The very air itself seemed to be supercharged. When Naruto struck him, the land below was pulverized, utterly erased. Shockwaves went through the Fire Nation and Konoha. Naruto struck him once again and again and again and again, but it wasn't working. It just kept on going, regenerating over and over again. When Naruto realized it was a part of him, the void, now fully transformed like a monster, a demon, glowing yellow eyes, countless teeth, its body at least 10 foot tall, tentacles extending out of it, whipping and destroying everything. "You are mine," it said. "Yes, I am," said Naruto. He held his hand out and they slammed into one another as Naruto embraced it. He didn't fight it, he hugged it. He decided to return it to where it came from. He was more emotionally stable. He could handle it. He pulled it in. The process was not comfortable. Almost like reabsorbing a part of you that you haven't felt in so long that it felt unnerving. Naruto pulled it, and pulled it, and pulled it, and pulled it in. The air itself seemed to explode with fiery hot explosions, like tiny suns exploding. This went on for about a minute, and the forest was forever changed. The trees died, just thorns standing. It tried to fight, it tried to scream, but Naruto pulled it in. It didn't matter how much it struck him, he pulled it in. By the time it was over, Naruto was on his hands and knees. Completely different. A red and silver suit seemed to form around him, generated from them both. His hair had become completely black as he levitated off the ground without needing to. For the first time, Naruto was at full power. More powerful than description itself. As he rose completely, feeling power surge through him, unlike ever before as he floated in the sky. He just floated up there, feeling the power ooze off of him. It spread. It spread over Konoha. It spread over the land of fire. The sheer dominance and weight of what he is now was something most cannot even describe. It was on that day that Naruto put Naruto Uzumaki to rest. The name Sentry came to him. It came to him as something that needed to be put forward. The name Naruto was gone. His whisker marks were gone. His hair being black. The world was being introduced to him as someone else. Tsunade Senju made her way as he landed in the village. She was afraid, thinking that he was taking over. "Are you?" "I'm okay." "You can now call me the Sentry," he said. As he smiled, it made her know that everything was going to be alright. Time passed, and to the outside world, Konoha had a new savior. Many of the other village hated that. Once again, Konoha got someone powerful. They hated that with all of their might. Yes, they did. Naruto was now a part of the village. Tsunade trying her best to incorporate him into the village. He never got the chance to know her, to know Jiraiya, so he tried. At the same time, Naruto had recalled Sasuke Uchiha when he learned about him from Sakura Haruno. When he was introduced to the rookies, they didn't take to him well at first. They didn't know him. Well, he tried as well. Things changed though when he brought Sasuke back. Upon defeating Itachi, a man wearing a mask tried to take him, but Naruto was much faster. Much faster. Sasuke was brought home, not knowing what to do now, not knowing where to go. Naruto did not know him, but he gave him some advice. You have people that love you here. And he did. Sakura Haruno was by his side in an instant. With that, time move on. The organization known as the Akatsuki rose. Unfortunately though, they met something that was unmovable. It started with Jiraiya heading towards the Rain Village. Luckily though, Naruto arrived. No longer bound to his, normal self, Naruto could see and hear things all across the world. He knew the minute that Jiraiya was attacked. The 6 paths of pain did not stand a chance. Naruto defeated pain so thoroughly. The man who once declared himself a god was forced to see the difference in their strength. Was forced to understand that he would never defeat what Naruto is. The masked man came next. No amount of teleportation, spatial manipulation could save him from what Naruto was. For the first time, Naruto felt like he was a part of something big. A part of something greater than he would ever be. He could feel it from all around him. With all that he was doing, the more people that came into his life. And then he noticed her. Hinata Hyuga. She noticed him as well. It started out soft like how normal things do. She was gentle, she was kind. She was beautiful, everything about her. Her personality, her looks, everything was just... They fell in love with one another. Yes. The world knew about him. And his very existence stopped anything from happening. His power, beyond description to most. The world was at peace for some time until the Atsukis came. Momoshiki, Kinshiki, monsters from another planet. But they were fighting someone that had the power of 1 million exploding suns. The Atsukis were ancient and powerful, but they stood no chance. He eviscerated them. He wiped them away, protecting the entire world. The world knew the Sentry was their savior, a man who fought gods from another planet and destroyed them. However, in these little moments, Naruto was grateful for everything. For Silver, for raising him to be the man that he is. He just hoped that he could have seen this. Naruto arrived home. The door opened. 3 bundles of joys exploded outwards, crashing into their father with nothing but love and affection. The smile on his face. Pure happiness. Hinata walked over and kissed him. They shared a lovely kiss. His children already trying to climb on top of his head. So small and yet so powerful. As Naruto smiled down towards them. He had cursed his life. Cursed what Orochimaru did to him, but now he couldn't imagine another life. Yes, there was more threats out there, yes. The Atsukis will rise once again because there was more of them, but he would be ready for them. He would be ready for the world. As Naruto smiled, hugging his family. But guys, I'm gonna be ending this right here, yes. So that's it guys, just a fun little short movie for you guys to enjoy. Remember to comment your movie ideas and your series ideas down below, and I'll jot them down for future use. But I'm off for now, see you guys soon, peace!